Good morning, cadets. Hope you have a wonderful morning. Hope you are all happy and safe in your home. By now, I completed a revision of chapters, that is 1, 2, and 3. Let us revise the chapter number 4. Cadets, I repeat once again, even though this chapter may not be considered or not considered by the CBSE for the board examination, but this chapter very well considered for the internal assessment or the periodic or by the project work. So please don't neglect the chapter, because questions will be definitely asked from this chapter for your internal assessment. In the month of December, then you can take a call of slightly neglecting this chapter, definitely not now. So with that, let me continue what we studied in this chapter, that is gender, religion and caste. I explained you this is a very sensitive chapter, because the religion, gender and caste, out of this religion and caste is the most sensitive topic in India, because religion definitely can unite or divide the people. It's purely based on how you portrayed or how you shown that religion to the public. What we studied in this chapter, let us go page wise. We studied about the beginning of this chapter, we studied about how gender and politics, definitely we studied about public and private division of labor. Public and private division of labor means sexual division of labor, which I explained to you in detail. In India, we divide certain works based on the sex. Sex means male or female. We say that if a boy definitely is not supposed to do the work related to the house, domestic work, but at the same time girl has to learn all the works related to the kitchen or cooking, washing utensils and all. So sexual division of labor, that is purely division of labor on the basis of biological difference, that is male or female. That is what we studied. And now not recently, of course, in the beginning itself, there are several women's organizations. They started fighting for the protecting rights of women. So they are called as feminist movements. So what is feminist movement? A movement which supports the women's right is called as feminist movement. So several feminist movements were responsible for empowerment, I repeat, empowerment of women social status in India. So whenever we speak about social status of women in India, generally not considered good because of the system of society. That is what we further study. That is what is the reason for this. Reason for this was, there are many reasons. After that, we study about matriarchal system of society and all those things. Okay. Here we studied why the women's condition is not so good in India. We studied some reasons. The reason what we studied, it is the patriarchal society, which is explained here. Patriarchal means father is head of the family, that is called patriarchal. If the father is head of the family, naturally the property goes from father to son. So it is understood that son or a male child is preferred over the female child. That is one of the reason for the low status of women in India. The second important reason which we studied, that is literacy rate. I explained to you that if there is a good literacy rate, definitely, why European countries definitely run on a parallel base, both gender and men and women, because the literacy rate of both men and women is very competitive in those countries. But in India, when we compare literacy rate with the male and female, literacy rate is 54%, whereas male literacy rate is 76%. So definitely literacy rate also plays a greater role in empowerment of women. That is what I also explained, that the government of India recently studied various programs which includes Beti Bachao Beti Padhao Andolan, where the lot of support is given to improve the literacy status of girl children. And third important thing which is divides them is, even though there is a Equal Remuneration Act of 1976 which says that irrespective of gender, equal salary should be given for men and women, but still in India women are paid less in unorganized sectors. I am talking, not we are speaking about the government sectors. In unorganized sectors, maybe in agriculture sector, few industrial sectors and all, definitely you may be knowing that in your village areas and all, where women are paid less than the male workers. And further, we also studied that in India the sex rate is going down, where the mainly because of the preference of male child by the parents. We studied about in detail. We studied about the sex ratio in India, in which explains about sharp decrease of girl children in India, and it is even less than 800 in several states. Further, what we studied in this chapter, that we studied about the political representation of women in India, and we compared with this with the Scandinavian countries. I shown you slides related to Norway, Sweden, Switzerland. In countries like Norway, Sweden, definitely women participation is more in political domains, whereas in India it is very less. I shown you a slide that only in the recent Lok Sabha election, that means present Lok Sabha election, highest participation, that is nearly 14% share of women MPs is there, but prior to that it is always less than 10%. We also studied about introduction of Panchayat Raj. After introduction of Panchayat Raj, now it is mandatory to reserve 1/3 seats for women in local self-government. Because of the introduction of Panchayat Raj bill, now we can see there is a good representation of women in local self-government. So these are all we studied in very detail, that is Scandinavian countries, how the representation is there in the Scandinavian countries. A long pending demand which I explained to you, that is demand for reservation of women, 33% reservation for women in legislature, that is in Lok Sabha and Lok Sabha, Rajya Sabha and state legislative assembly. There is a long pending demand till it is not materialized. That means the law is not passed in favor of women representation in the Parliament of India. Let us hope that soon the law will pass, so that 33% of reservation will be given to women in the Indian legislative system. Further, we studied about the most sensitive issue of this topic of this chapter, that is religion, communalism in politics. I explained you about how Gandhiji's notion of religion was that. Gandhiji explained religion and politics cannot be separated. But Gandhiji's view of religion is not what we say Hindu, Muslim, Christians, Buddhists, Jains, Parsis. What Gandhiji felt that every religion got something good to teach. Every religion is based on the moral principles. So morality, or the value which we get from every religion, should be implemented in politics. So if a person is religious and if he enters politics, if he is true religious, then the chance of making mistakes is very less. That is what Gandhiji's vision on politics. But that vision, of course, today unfortunately not materialized. Whenever we speak about the communal rights, communalism in India, most of the time we feel that the minority group, minority irrespective of the religion, because in some places Hindus are minority, in most of the places Muslims, Sikhs, Jains, Parsis, Christians are the minority. So minorities are the people generally affected when there is a communal rights. What is communalism? I explained you in detail. So the communalism is the worst expression of a religion. Means if the religious groups started fighting each other on the basis of religion, that is the worst expression of religion is a form of communalism. We studied about Godhra violence. We studied about Ayodhya, Babri Masjid issue. So communalism is considered as the worst expression of religion because it divides the society. A communal mind always considers his or her religion is superior over the others. So such communal mind is very, very harmful to the society. So we also studied about the communal mind also use the religious symbols for the blackmailing or gathering the sentiments of the people. Then we studied about India as a secular state. In India, we consider India as a secular state because in India, secularism is considered as the major step in the movement of Indian democracy. So what is secularism in India? Where no religion is given official status, rather all religions are given equal status. That is called secularism in India. But there is a difference between Indian secularism and secularism in other countries. In India, government actively interfere in the religious issues if the religious issues are disturbing the public. Further, we studied about caste system. Caste system, we studied how the caste system changed over a period of time. How caste system origin, that is Brahmin, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra. And we also studied how caste system is changed over a period of time. The 3 points also explained, that is urbanization, occupational mobility. These are the and caste hierarchy. Urbanization, whenever the towns and cities are grown up, naturally the caste system takes a backseat. And occupational transfer or occupational mobility of the people. People travel in search of jobs. When people travel in search of job, naturally the importance of caste and ethnic groups takes a backseat. That's what we studied further. Further, we studied about caste in politics. Here we studied how political parties select the candidates on the basis of the caste, how they mobilize the vote bank. That also we studied about vote bank politics. We also studied about how every political party tried to gather the sentiments of the people on the basis of caste. But there are many things which we also studied, that in India there are enough examples where ruling party MPs or MLAs lost the election. And in India there is no single constituency where only one caste is dominating. So both plus and minus we studied, but still what we say, caste plays a dominant role in politics. Then last topic of the chapter what we studied, politics in caste. What is politics in caste? That we studied how every caste try to incorporate or include more number of people to their caste so that their caste number will be increased. Okay, so that is what we studied further. So each caste group try to become bigger by incorporating neighbors from the caste, and various caste groups are now started showing the political parties importance to making formation of political parties. All these we studied in detail. But what is the benefit of this? That also we studied. Because of the expression of caste, what is benefit in India was that Even Dalits who were suffered for a long period of time, now they got enough opportunity to express their right because of the expression of caste in politics. Several improvements are introduced in India. Dalits and Adivasis rights are protected. Scheduled caste and scheduled tribes rights are protected. Manual scavenger system is almost stopped in India. So several new steps are taken in India. These new steps are definitely taken because of the effort taken by the several social political groups which generally they fought for the improvement of certain caste. So all these we studied. I also gave you the question and answers also in detail. Please go through the question and answers, and this revision, once again I repeat, revision is done purely so that you can recollect what all we studied in the chapter 1, 2, 3 and 4. Please complete all the question and answers. Please complete all the work assigned to you, because by when you are reached back to the school, definitely we expect all the work completed, because I am repeating once again, we are taking a lot of efforts to keep you updated related to the topics or related to the academic year in progress. Take care. I'll see you in the next video. Please take care of yourself. Bye.